So after another break, it's hard to stay consistent when every other night I end up staying up till 6 in the morning with a couple of friends on GTA 5, and that doesn't give me the chance to record this. And there's some days too where I just don't even feel like talking, so. I hadn't remembered that this is a very unbalanced championship. Okay then. I actually had to try and remember which championship I was supposed to do. For some reason I just mind blanked. I thought I was still in 13, and just why is this 14 here? Oh yeah, I'm in 14, aren't I? Kind of a noise limiter, as it were, because I'm not currently the only person in the house. So, no, I'm usually not, but almost, actually, no, I never am. But my mom is sick in the other room with the flu, and as a result, she's eating even lighter sleeper than she usually is. So that's a challenge. Timing. I really wished I could record footage of other consoles. I don't have or have intentions of having any kind of Elgato or any similar recording software. The only reason I can even record this is because the PS4 has a built-in thing for it. Otherwise we wouldn't be here right now, obviously. I'd be confined to the comment section rather than anything else for discussing the way that the series is going. Yeah, 16 Needles in this car was a bit of a mistake. I have a feeling he might already have won the championship, just out of merit here. I would say this is not balanced, but I tried doing this so many times I didn't really care at the time last night. I didn't realize just how bad it was the last time I recorded this. Until I look back and see that 6 Needles has missed out on only 6 out of the 45 points that you could score to this point. Oops. And I'm not doing terribly well here. Let's see if it's a wall. And see you later. So yeah, I spent most of the weekend, almost the entire weekend on the PS2 down at my dad's. I go there every other weekend, and because we didn't really have a place to put it here, and because my dad's PlayStation 2 is kind of not really functioning right anymore. Oh my good lord, 16 Angels, please. You have to go be putting Snap on him in due time. Probably by like round 10 at this rate. I played exclusively Hot Wheels games, mostly Velocity X, but I also played some World Race and even a bit of Stunt Track Challenge, which I wouldn't say it's my least favorite Hot Wheels game, but it's kind of like the least preferred one because, like, Stunt Track Challenge is just World Race with less cars to me, and like, I guess slightly more personality, given that it has like the different themes that it has, and also because it has a commentator. It's like a more casual World Race almost. The terminal's been in a bit of a scrap, probably with Danny, if I had to guess. Yep. If 16 Angels is lucky, the rest of the racing is actually pretty decent, otherwise I'd have just kicked his ass already. Here we have a classic duo here. But basically I did for, what I usually do for Velocity X when I play that in my spare time is, 5 rounds, random gadget location, or not location, but like random selections, I guess. Like, just random gadgets, it just says that in the thing. Which is a feature I didn't know existed when I was younger. Because I just always had it on by default. Or the default. Just like how I was younger, I always did Turbine City in battles, and never really did drag racing. Now I don't do much battling, but if I do, it's usually the, combusted caldera volcano, and I usually do drag racing on the downtown stage because it's like the one where the AI are like the most effective, it seems. Like they get hopelessly lost in some of the other ones, like the glacier and the desert races. Like, cause the desert race has that tube you can drive through, but the AI don't know how to do that. And so you basically have to be in, like, the bus to lose at that point, if you do take it, and they don't. I believe I have created a train behind me of several cars. Yeah, it seems about right. The R8 isn't doing very well here at the Nürburgring. You're not the Nürburgring, but... Oh yeah, it is the Nürburgring, but not in the ring itself. Wait. The GP course was built in like 2002 or something like that, the track that we're on now. The Nürburgring itself has been around for like 50 years now, I'd guess. But they built this so that they could have Formula 1 races here. And then they decided to just kind of build it into the actual course. I don't know if I've used the full 24-inch layout yet, but after the chicane up here, which like probably Alex are going, yeah. You go through this little chicane, and as you go up the hill, which is much steeper in real life than this, you'd go to the left there to go to the full course, not to the right. Oh my god. Oh, bye, Otto. Governor held for a while, but not for long enough. And then Governor just basically invited Dusty Angel to try and pass him, which, well, he accepts the invitation and the third place. Governor's like, one person passed me, well, everyone's passed me now. That's not how that works usually. But like, probably things I would do if I had the ability to record the PS2, it would be kind of complicated given I can only play it on it once every 2 weeks, but if I could somehow record the PS2 from my dad's, which he's a pretty heavy sleeper, so it'd be a lot easier to talk and commentate it later at night if I chose to. Plus he doesn't know about the Hot Wheels games pretty good since he's watched me play them basically my entire life. So he wouldn't be a terrible fit for like a co-commentary thing either. But what I kind of like, the idea that I kind of had, especially on Velocity X and World Race, well, Velocity X more specifically because it's kind of got a little more variety to it, would be something of like an arcade ladder, something like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat would have. You know, pick a character and fight like a series of matches, and at the end you get a little bit of, you know, a story. So usually it's not much of a story, but it's usually there. And that would kind of provide a tiny bit of lore for each of the characters in my own kind of, by my own design. So by an astonishing 38 seconds, 16 Angels wins this round, and I don't imagine he'll be losing too many. And with Bedlam scoring the last of the points. That also really came through the field there. He started last and ends up in 8th. So he might have been up there pretty fast too. He just kind of wasn't up there to start with. But I don't think even much of anything could have challenged 16 Angels for that race. I would say, like, please put 16 Angels starting last. That doesn't matter when he's that much faster than everyone else. Basically put the Radar Ranger of Assetto Corsa in the game here. I guess if you were like the, on console game terms or handheld terms, it'd be the Shadow Jet of Assetto Corsa and 16 Angels. There's like one big thing about the Hot Wheels games, Stunt Track Challenge, or well, at least World Race and Velocity X. And Turbo Racing are good like this, but well, no, not just more like just Stunt Track Challenge. The console version of World Race, or console version of Velocity X and World Race, and I think probably Track Attack. I'm not so sure though. I haven't actually played it before. But those games, when you unlocked the, like, final car, like the Prototype 12 in Velocity X, it's not actually the best one. I mean, it's the fastest, but there are other cars that are still perfectly usable. Like, I still hold that Vulture is like the best overall car in the game. Pretty good grip, pretty fast rotation. It's like the fifth fastest car. And, well, armor isn't much, but it's not much anything else that's faster besides Power Rocket, so... Like, the top 3 cars in that game are Power Rocket, Crazy 8s, and Vulture, hands down. Fourth would actually probably be Diora 2, because it has all of the armor, but it actually is pretty swift. And the jet booster glitch in the game, which is one thing I would like to demonstrate at one point, but I have no way of playing it and holding the camera and holding my tablet in my hand to do that. I can only really do that with replays, so. But basically, you just fire the jet booster and repeatedly press the turbo button, or just basically mash the X button. And in certain cars, such as Maelstrom, Dior 2, Power Pistons, and a couple of others. I don't remember exactly which other ones. I have a list of which ones do and don't do it very well. Like, I literally tested every car in the game to see which ones do it and how well they do it. Some cars aren't held by jet boosters at all, like super tuned, but then we have cars like the prototype car, which can also do it. So yeah, I think the main 5 are Vulture, Maelstrom, Power Pistons, Prototype 12, and Euro 2. It's like the Euro 2 is 4-wheel drive. I feel like it has a lot of acceleration, so while its top speed's only 140, it gets to that speed about as fast as something like Jet Threat 3.0 would probably get to 140. And then it also has all of that extra armor, being the, I think, second most durable car in the game, only behind the bus. Yes, like one concept that I would have would be, or like the biggest one that I would probably do, especially in Velocity X, would be something of an arcade ladder. Like, say, like the Vert arcade ladder has mostly races, which would make it difficult because while Vert's a racing character, his car isn't terribly good at racing in Velocity X, and really not much better in any of the other Hot Wheels games, to be honest. For being like one of the poster childs of Hot Wheels for like the mid-thousands, it wasn't very good in many of them. The Euro 1 was okay in Turbo Racing. It was sort of like one of the balanced cars, but that was like most of the roster. It wasn't some wacky thing like a go-kart or a top-fuel dragster. Well, Dusty Angel is kind of sort of walking away with this one. Not as bad as 16 Angels walked away with the last one, but so fast as blocking traffic for him, pretty much. And therefore no one can get to him to even attempt to contest the place. Even 16 Angels is having a bit of hard time running through the field this time, at least for now. But I think the reason only being because he's in this train of 7 cars being held up by so fast. And for what he did in Nürburgring, the governor is doing kind of not good here. So yeah, as you know, I don't remember what episode precisely, but I put in at some point the my personal list of Hot Wheels Velocity X characters, which is while there are some characters that aren't like, you know, official canon for the Bad Arc, like Carbon has Attitude. Even in the PS2 version, I have those cards by default. You don't have to put in the Game Boy Advance code to get them. Overboard, Attitude, and Twin Mill 2. Twin Mill 2, I'm thoroughly convinced, is the worst car in the game. It literally has 30 of every stat that isn't speed, and that's only 44, so... Yeah, the governor is struggling, to put it simply. I'm not exactly successful either right now. Okay, this looks ridiculous up here. They're about to go 3 wide into turn 1. Well, maybe not, because 16 Needles is a stupid power, but... Yeah, no, 16 Needles will just pass 4 cars down 1 straightaway. It's fine, we swear. Or, I swear, rather. Who's we? No one else here but me. Needles is in the grass partially and is still getting more power than Twin Mill. The other thing too with Twin Mill 2 and Velocity X is that, as I said in Twin Mill's bio back a few episodes ago in Universe Zero, back in, you know, the act where I was doing them, rather. Oh, hi Otto. Gee whiz. That, Twin Mill has a twin sister that drives Twin Mill 2. And so that's actually the character in Velocity X, and so his sister is kind of the fighty one, where Twin Mill is the one that prefers to race. Yes, like for example, say with Vert's Arcade Ladder, you'd have like 8 events. It would be difficult to try and get specific opponents for it though, but say, you know, the first thing you do is like a battle against 2 opponents on downtown, and those 2 opponents are like randomly selected. And then you get, say the second round is a drag race downtown with 2 opponents. Or maybe just 1 opponent. I don't know, maybe you'd start with the drag race, given the UR2 is like kind of a battle car in Velocity X. There'd be maybe like, I'd probably put like somewhere between like probably 6 or 8 rounds per ladder. And then like the 8th one being the final boss against Otto. From Adventure Mode. I almost said Adventure Time, but no, I never even watched that show. So Fast still being rather obnoxious when it comes to the whole blocking aspect. That's not 16 Needles. Otto is trying to like relieve the traffic, but So Fast is clinging on for now, well, as he gets pushed almost off the track entirely. Well, looks like the 2 Angels will have finished first and second in this race. It's a shame, really, because the main group of, like, these 8 here are actually pretty well balanced. Like, from... well, Auto not as much, but... the cars from, like, that to Danny are pretty evenly matched. And usually Vert and I are also a part of it. We're just kind of... I think we have the Duff AI in this race. Well, the engine probably loved that bird. And rounding the final turn, finally it's not 16 Angels winning the race. But instead it's, well, the other Angel. Otto will take the final place on the podium here. Again. So fast, with very erratic defensive driving, will hold on to 4th to the finish. Now I make a remark about Ryan Storm's bad driving, but that's just his car in this situation. I gave him a very bad vehicle. He still hasn't scored. He's the only one who hasn't. If I remember afterwards to try and use Imgur, I was about to spell like it was an acronym. It's not. It's definitely a name. Because I have a couple of interesting pictures from those games. Here's a weird thing though, when I was doing Stunt Track Challenge, I noticed the AI would pick power pipes, but the driver wouldn't be named Bernard Bowles. He just never appeared. Just sort of figured maybe he was a game show exclusive thing, maybe it was like based off of where I was in game show itself, even though I've definitely finished the game like 4 different times. But Stunt Track Challenge is the other reason, or another reason why it's kind of like compared to the Hot Wheels games from the PS2 for me, is that it's very short, yeah, and it's also not very hard. If you even like remotely played any of the Hot Wheels games or played Stunt Track Challenge for like an hour, you'll probably be able to win. I mean, there are a few challenges that are kind of tricky, but like, there is absolutely no reason why you should ever lose a race. Compare that to the game before it, World Race, which, I mean, doesn't really give me all too much trouble nowadays, but it's hardly easy. And then we have Velocity X with the very hard difficulty, because apparently that's what we definitely needed in a Hot Wheels game. And I can verify that it is indeed very hard. I've tried it like once, and that's it. Ooh, that behind him looks really calm. Oh my god, what is going on? That's a lot of traffic in one place. It thinned out pretty quickly, but for a moment that was intense looking. And then we have kind of the lead. It's already splitting up into 2 groups. There's the lead group being led currently by Twin Mill for the moment. And then, I definitely just saw a mouse run past me. Or some other kind of very small black object. Yep. I absolutely saw you. X3 started last. He's already passed 4 people. How much further can you go? I don't really know if we can go that much further, to be honest. Probably 8th at best. If I were to predict where he'll end up at the end of the race, I would say 8th. So Twinmill leads us through the first lap. So yeah, the top 6 are in one group, and then the other 9 are in the second group, which I am currently leading. Let's see that extra power from 16 Angels is really going to be a little bit much here. Yeah. It's not even that much power. I'm pretty sure the that is an inconvenience for 16 Angels right now. At most, inconvenience. Because I found my groove once again. There goes Alex. I would say with any luck, I don't think luck will matter. Unless there's like a couple of wrecks or something somehow. I don't see it being too likely, but Ryan is currently in a place to score. But I don't know how much longer that would last. Angel's still being denied his position. Vert's finally found his groove in the new Porsche here, and he's kind of joined the lead group. Sort of the kind of handling representative of it, rather than power like every other car here, besides Twinmill, which is, I don't know, that. Twinmill's kind of like the middle ground in this one. He's got some good turning, and he's got some good speed in that Porsche. That is like the new Crossbow. All-out handling, not too much power. Same with Vert. Anal is just unfair. I mean, he kind of has a bit of both, a good amount of both. A vehicle like Burn or Otto on Diesel are just all top speed. I would say mine's also kind of in the middle, but less so in the middle than Twinmill. Alex is definitely speed, Dusty Angel's sort of a balanced one. Bedlam is like all handling and like a bit of acceleration. Ryan Storm is just not a very good car. XT3 is sort of kind of balanced. I would say So Fast is probably handling, same as Danny, and the Governor is, I don't even know what to call his car, other than not that great. I would probably say speed more than handling, just because of how big and bulky that car is. Also, apparently Vert has the fastest lap. Not by terribly much, but he did have it. Yes, that is basically all handling. He does not have any amount of, like, power in that car. And I guess it's after it's a slingshot from World Race, so there is that. That car is all handling and acceleration. It doesn't have any speed to speak of, pretty much. And that was sort of the case for all of the cars that you started the game with. Diora, Ballistic, Overboard, Slingshot, and Crazy Eights. I'm referring to the console version. Because for some reason in the Game Boy version, though, it's the other way around. Slingshot functions, as the name implies, as all power and no handling, like So Fast almost. And Alex was another prime example of that too. The whole, in both World Race Games? What? Goms. The Gom Boy. The Gom Boy Advance. They're just like offensively English or something, I don't know. The Gom Boy. What the heck am I saying? You got a really solid race here, actually. Granted, I think it'd be over if it weren't for the fact that has basically been blocking 1680s from passing Burn every time they get down the main straightaway on the top of the hill. Burn's trying to like intimidate Twin Mill a bit, I guess. I don't know what he was doing there. In hindsight, I think the best car I could have probably put 1680s in would have been the GT40 that Twin Mill usually has. Because that I think would be a little more balanced than this. We know it's better than the normal F40, but it's probably not better than the upgraded one with like an extra 100-some horsepower. Yeah, and that is basically out of contention for the win now. And, Messinos will just kind of go, I guess. He finally found his opening, and he definitely took it. Meanwhile, in the second grid, the second half of the grid, which has basically now become its own smaller split of 7th through 10th. And the next T3 kind of leads to the final pack. I don't even think this, well, actually no, it will be a group still. It just won't have 1680s in it because he just runs away. Vert kind of messed that corner up. He's not done yet though. And all of that handling just allows him to just cruise on past. I think Dusty is also going to leave the mid group. But I don't think he'll be catching the lead group. He probably would, he just doesn't have the time for it. He doesn't have the time to do it. If this were like a 6-lap race maybe, but he's currently almost 15 seconds away from the lead group right now, probably. If I had to guess. Because Dusty is here, and that is 2 corners away. So yeah, I think he would get there in due time, but that's time he does not have. And hereabouts is where Bedlam will kind of get lost from me and Alex, because he doesn't have the same amount of power. He has some good acceleration to stay with him initially, but once he hits like 5th gear, so... Okay, maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe the car has more power than I'm giving it credit for. Yeah, that seems to be precisely the case. Just not faster is more of the thing. I regret this. Seriously regret this. Signals is hitting 172 down the straightaway. And Twin Mill is hitting like not even 160. Burn will probably be able to hit like 165 down the straightaway, but that's it. And then not to mention, Byrne has like really not good turning or corner exits because of how much power his car has. He has to wait. And Bedlam cannot get to, yeah, there's the acceleration that is good, but the top speed that is not. It's like the new Shelby Cobra, actually, that's what that is. Good acceleration, okay handling, but its top speed suffers compared to its opponents. And that means on a track like Brands Hatch, if Bedlam started on pole or second place, it would probably do pretty well. But here, where we have like a kilometer-long straightaway, it won't do so well. So fast, took 11th. Kind of caught me off guard there. The two Porsches seem like they will make up the remainder of the podium positions here. Yeah, because of the competition specification, Vert's car doesn't have too much speed either. But that handling, my word. Oh, hi. Scared the crap out of me. Governor just ran straight into XG3. And Ryan will finish last again. Nearly a minute behind 60 Angels. I say 60 Angels? Son of a... There's 16 Angels. So yeah, now he's 33 points ahead. That's 2 whole races where Otto would have to win, and he still wouldn't be in the points lead. That's assuming 16 Angels for some reason didn't score in those races. Before he was like 16 points ahead. So he's like doubled his lead over 3 races. So at this rate, he'll be probably clinched by around like 13, 14, maybe 15. Assuming that another second driver doesn't suddenly get dominant of the rest of the field that isn't 16 Angels. So, if like Otto or Byrne have a long streak of really good races. But if that doesn't happen, it might be even earlier than that. If the rest of the field stays as evenly matched as it actually is. Or has been, at least. I would have the time for double upload, but like, I'd rather not risk the kind of unspoken noise restriction that I'm under right now. But I just figured I had to get an episode, at the very least. Seeing as it's been a few days without one. This is why I'm not a really, successful YouTuber yet. Consistency when it comes to the uploading, I cannot hold myself to a schedule ever. So... And next we'll have a pretty good list of tracks. We have the short Blackout County after Monza, which would be next round, and then Barcelona, which marks the halfway mark of the act.